Viktor Petrov had never lost a match 3 years, 47 competitions. Soviet national champion, undefeated record built on a principal competition, tests, everything the mat. Does not lie, win or lose. Simple. Tokyo, Japan. Nippon Budokan, October 15th. 1972 Sunday afternoon finals of the Japan Karate Championship. 8,000 people packed into an arena designed for sumo and judo. The air smelled of liniment oil and floor wax. Elevated lights illuminated the central mat. Everything else fell into shadow. Viktor sat in the competitor's preparation area, still wearing his white karate gi from the semifinals. The black belt around his waist was worn soft from years of training. The heavyweight gold medal hung around his neck. He had won it 30 minutes ago, defeated Japan's best competitor. Clean victory. The crowd respected him even though they wanted their compatriot to win. Viktor was 28 years old, 220 pounds of functional muscle. His karate was Kyokushin style, full contact without protective gear. He had studied under masters who had fought in World War II, men who had learned martial arts to survive, not for sport. The tournament organizer announced the demonstration portion. After competition comes education. Masters of different styles would show their techniques, their philosophy. One of the guest speakers was introduced. Bruce Lee, martial arts instructor from Hong Kong, currently living in California, invited to speak about his philosophy and demonstrate his style. Viktor saw Bruce Lee for the first time as he walked to the guest table. Small man, perhaps 14 pounds, wearing a gray suit, white dress shirt, thin black tie. He looked like a businessman. He sat at a table with a microphone, opened a folder, adjusted his glasses. Viktor thought, this is the famous Bruce Lee. This small man in a suit. Viktor had heard the name. Everyone in international martial arts had heard the name Bruce Lee, the man who supposedly moves faster than cameras can film, the man who claims mixed martial arts is superior to traditional systems. But as Bruce Lee competed, has he won championships under rules and judges? Viktor did not know. He only knew that Bruce Lee did not look anything like a martial artist sitting at that table in a suit. The final ceremony concluded. Viktor officially received his gold medal. The Soviet national anthem played. 8,000 Japanese spectators applauded respectfully. Bruce stood, walked to the microphone, spoke in English. A translator repeated in Japanese. Bruce spoke about his philosophy. He said martial arts should not be bound by style. He said competition is valuable, but incomplete. He said a true martial artist adapts to any situation. He said the moment you say my style is superior, you have stopped learning. Viktor listened. He disagreed. Competition absolutely proves what works. The strongest system wins. Bruce's philosophy sounded idealistic, like someone who had never competed under real pressure. Bruce finished speaking, returned to his seat, sat, and waited for the next demonstration. Viktor made a decision. He walked to the central mat. 8,000 people watching. He approached the tournament organizer, spoke in Russian. The translator converted to Japanese. Viktor said he did not want to be disrespectful. He said he wanted to request a friendly demonstration with the Chinese Kung Fu representative. The translator looked uncomfortable, asked Viktor to clarify. Viktor pointed to the guest table. The gentleman there, the Chinese speaker, would accept a friendly exchange. The arena fell completely silent. Not respectful silence, but stunned silence, the kind of silence that happens when someone fundamentally does not understand the situation. The tournament organizer walked to Viktor, spoke quietly in broken Russian, said, "Are you sure that is Bruce Lee?" Viktor said yes. He knew friendly demonstration, cultural exchange. The organizer said, "You do not understand, that is Bruce Lee." Viktor still did not understand the warning. He looked at the guest table, pointed at Bruce. That man. Bruce stood, nodded, began to remove his jacket. 8,000 people leaned forward. Bruce removed his jacket, folded it, placed it on the chair, loosened his tie, took it off, unbuttoned his cuffs, rolled up his sleeves, and walked to the central mat. Each movement calm, deliberate, unhurried. Viktor watched how Bruce moved. Something changed in his perception. This is not how businessmen walk. This is how fighters walk. Weight-centered, steps precise, no movement wasted. Viktor's confidence remained. Bruce still weighed 140 pounds, still 5 feet tall. Viktor had 80 pounds advantage, 6 inches of reach, a decade of full contact competition. Bruce stepped onto the mat, faced Viktor, bowed. Viktor bowed back. The tournament organizer asked, "What rules do you want?" Viktor said, "Simple demonstration, light contact, 3 exchanges. Whoever lands 3 clean touches wins." Bruce nodded. They took positions 10 feet apart. Viktor assumed his stance, Kyokushin, hands up, tight guard weight on his back leg. Bruce stood normally feet shoulder with hands at his sides, not a fighting stance, just standing. Victor thought, unguarded. This small man thinks he does not need to defend. The referee signaled begin. Victor moved first, tested Bruce with a quick, controlled front kick aimed at Bruce's midsection, and Bruce was not there when the kick arrived. He had moved offline 6 inches to the left. Minimal movement. Victor's kick found air before Victor could readjust. Bruce's hand touched Victor's extended knee. Light tap, then retracted. First point. Bruce. Victor stepped back, readjusted his stance, breathed. Okay, Bruce is fast now. Victor would attack. Seriously, Victor attacked with combination punch, punch, kick, Kyokushin textbook sequence, practiced 10,000 times. Bruce moved between strikes without blocking, without dramatic evasion, just positioning his body where the strikes were not. Victor's first punch passed inches from Bruce's head. Victor's second punch was redirected by Bruce's hand. Light touch changed the angle. Victor's kick was checked before extension. Bruce's hand on Victor's thigh, then Bruce's other hand touched Victor's ribs. Light touch. Second point. Bruce. 8,000 people completely silent. Viktor Petrov, undefeated Soviet champion, had attacked twice and scored 0 points. Bruce Lee had moved twice and scored twice. Victor was breathing harder, not from effort, but from confusion. Bruce was not fighting him. Bruce was demonstrating, showing Victor exactly where he was open, exactly where he was vulnerable. The referee asked if they wanted to continue. Victor nodded. One more exchange. Victor changed strategy, launched a single power technique, full commitment front kick aimed at Bruce's chest. All of Victor's weight behind it. This was the kick that won him the gold medal 30 minutes ago. Bruce closed the distance before Victor's leg fully extended. Now they were too close for the kick to work. Victor's balance compromised. Bruce's hand touched Victor's shoulder. Light tap, then his other hand touched Victor's ribs. 2 touches and 1 is a second. 3 points. Bruce wins. The arena erupts. 8,000 people on their feet, shouting, applauding. Victor stands there in the center of the mat, breathing, trying to process what just happened. Bruce bows to Victor. Victor automatically bows back. Bruce speaks. His translator converts to Russian. You are an excellent karateka. Your technique is very strong, but you fight with patterns. You expect your opponent to respect your preparation. I do not respect preparations. I respond to what is not to what should be. Victor asks, how did you move so fast? Bruce says, I did not move fast. I moved early. You telegraph your techniques. Your shoulder drops before you strike. Your hip shifts before you kick. I react to your intent. By the time you finish the movement, I am already where you are not. Victor asks, how do I defend against that? Bruce says, you do not defend. You change your focus. You learn to move without telegraphing. You learn to be formless. The tournament organizer approaches, explains to Victor in Russian who Bruce Lee really is. Not just a speaker, the man who has trained champions, the man who has demonstrated to masters across 3 continents, the man whose philosophy has changed how an entire generation thinks about martial arts. Victor feels the weight of his mistake. He challenged Bruce Lee, thinking he was a random Chinese guest in front of 8,000 people. He judged him based on nationality and appearance. He assumed that his suit meant he was not a martial artist. Victor speaks through the translator. I apologize. I did not know who you were. I was arrogant. I judged based on appearance. I thought competition made me complete. You showed me I have much to learn. Bruce places his hand on Victor's shoulder. You had the courage to test your skills. That courage is more valuable than protecting your record. You will learn more from today than from all your combined victories. Victor asks, would you teach me? Bruce says, you already have excellent teachers, but if you want to understand what I showed you today, study other styles, learn boxing, learn wrestling, learn from systems you think are inferior, learn that every style has truth. Bruce puts his jacket back on, straightens his tie, returns to the guest table, sits, adjusts his microphone, becomes the speaker again as if nothing had happened. Victor leaves the mat. His teammates ask what happened. Victor says, I challenged someone I should have respected, and he taught me instead of humiliating me. That is mastery. Victor stays in Japan 3 more days, watches Bruce's full demonstration, studies his movement, asks questions. Bruce answers. Each one explains principles, recommends training methods. When Victor returns to Moscow, he begins training differently, adds boxing to his regimen, studies Wing Chun forms, practices moving without telegraphing. His coaches ask why he is changing proven methods. Victor says, I sparred with someone who showed me that competition is not complete. I need to become more than a karate champion. 40 years later, Victor tells the story. He is 68, retired from competition teaching in Moscow. When students ask about his undefeated record, he corrects them, says he lost once to Bruce Lee in front of 8,000 witnesses, says it was the most important loss of his life. Victor says, I stepped onto that mat thinking I was challenging a random guest. I stepped off realizing I knew nothing. Bruce could have humiliated me, could have hurt me. Instead, he showed me exactly where I was vulnerable. Then he offered to teach me. That is not martial arts. That is humanity. 8,000 people witnessed Viktor Petrov challenge the man in a suit. They saw him realize his mistake. 11 seconds into the demonstration, they saw him learn humility from someone he misjudged, but only Viktor knows what those 11 seconds cost him. They cost him his certainty. They cost him his belief that competition proved everything, and only Viktor knows what those 11 seconds gave him. They gave him a teacher he did not deserve. They gave him a lesson that carried him through 4 decades of growth. 11 seconds, 3 touches, 8,000 witnesses, and a mistake that became the most valuable moment of his life.